I am, rest in peace as well, brothers, sisters. Y'all gonna enjoy this one. Yes, indeed. Y'all are going to enjoy this one. Just stop me when I'm wrong. That's the only thing that I ever truly ask, is that you correct me when I'm wrong. Don't be emotional. Don't be. I know some of the things that I may say may upset you all. However, what I would like for you to do is push that aside and look at it, and just look at it for what it is. That it would be my biggest appreciation. However, shout out to everyone for being in here. Well, I have no one in yet, but we're gonna wait. Give it about 10 minutes. That's usually my time period. I was on earlier. I know people are like, well, damn, this guy keep going live. He keep. Well, that is because there are so many things that have been pent up inside that I need to discuss and create a conversation about. And now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. See, if you don't know nothing about it, y'all don't know about that. Now is the time. That's on at the Mac. Oh goodness, Gizmo just woke up. Shout out to who's in the house. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Somebody just tapped in. Oh, they tapped back out. Somebody tap it in. Yes, Black Men CAPE for Caitlin Clark. This is going to be a thing. Oh goodness gracious. The gears is up. Hold on one second. Hold on. Now is the time. This is the time. I don't have to be alone. Oh, jeez, man. Oh, y'all, just when I thought I was about to cook, the gizmo decided to wake up. Who's in the house? Somebody in here. What's going on? Lay down, Pumpkin. Yes. Yes. We'll see how things go. See if she's going to behave and allow me to do this live. Black Men CAPE for Caitlin Clark. A lot of you brothers and sisters have seen this. Shout out to who you. I got one of y'all in here. That's good enough for me. Appreciate you being here. Who are you? Shout yourself out. Hit the like button for me. I'd appreciate you. Two of you jab turkey. Okay, Gizmo. Here, go on. She literally just woke up, y'all. She literally just woke up. Black Men CAPE for Caitlin Clark. Let me explain this. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. As we all know, Caitlin Clark is probably the most popular athlete today. She has, well, she's top 3 for sure. She's right there with LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes, and she's right there, top 2, 3, no matter how you look at it. One, she's you know what I'm saying, she's right there. She is very talented. I want to begin this by saying this. Her ability to shoot the ball, Caitlin Clark is very, very good. I remember watching her back in Idaho after the media bigged her up. I wanted to see who she was, and she's everything that they have advertised. And Indiana Fever have gotten a superstar on their hands. This girl is amazing. You know what I'm saying? I think that she's not the best player in the WNBA. However, she is absolutely the most popular. I think they made a mistake when they did not put her on. I know they made a mistake when they did not put her on the Dream Team, on the U.S. Olympic team. Didn't matter what you thought. She should have been in there. Hey, Queen 223. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you, sister. They made a mistake when they didn't put her on that Olympic team. They erred in that regard. I'll tell you why. Because Caitlin is big business, and this is America. That was a huge platform, and it gave her the opportunity and to be used, you know, in a good way. Because we shouldn't misuse one another. We should, however, use each other. But they should have used her and had her out there. You take her out there, you trot her out, because I would have watched it. But once I knew she was not playing, I didn't watch it. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I used to know a lot of this basketball stuff. I used to watch Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, and Cynthia Cooper. I remember them girls, and I used to watch them, right? So I'm not an avid watcher. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that I used to watch it when I was in the joint, and I always particularly liked the women's game to a certain extent because there was nothing really on in the summertime, and you know you have an opportunity to see the stuff and show. Well, shout out to Chris. Appreciate you, Chris, for being in here. Let me see, but she did. Bus Candace. Did she? I didn't see that, Chris. Now you would know better than I would. So, but the reason I'm bringing this up, like I said, she's very talented, and I think she's very deserving. You know what I'm saying, of the credit that she's got. You know, and I think that we all know the white power structure has done a good job in trying to oversell her to the public as well. We know that when they have someone they want to push their same way they pushed Tommy Morrison on us back in the early 90s, mid 90s. If you all remember him, he was supposed to be the best fighter ever. There was nobody better than Tommy Morrison. And then we see what happened to him in certain fights. I won't go into trying to trash him because he shouldn't be catching strays here. This is about Caitlin Clark. But just go look at Tommy Morrison. You know what I'm saying? You'll know what I mean. Shout out to Chris. Listen to Chris. Y'all hit the like. Listen to Chris. But here's the thing, y'all, that really I want to deal with. She's very talented. She's very popular. And yes, she does have people that don't like her. She does have people that don't like her. And they don't like her for the wrong reasons. I think the women are not doing a good enough job in using her. I would use her to elevate my profile. The same way that the NBA embraced Michael Jordan when they knew it was time. The same way the NBA embraced Bird and Pumpkin. She done, oh God. She done, look at what she did. Pumpkin. She does. Why not do that? That's Daddy's fault. She took the cap off. Pumpkin, why do you do that? Oh, you didn't mean it? Okay, I know. All right. Just a little water. It's no big deal. So yes, and she's very, and shout out to Chris. Yeah, she is cold. If you say Caitlin Clark is not cold, then I think you just a hater. You know what I'm saying? They've done everything in order to keep her. A lot of the girls do not really, they're jealous. Let's just be honest. It's a petty trait. However, women, they tend to be jealous, and they don't like the fact that she is getting the shine when they know that there are better players, and they believe that their league, they believe their league should be further off. However, it's not. She's the goose that laid the golden egg. So what you do is you use her to elevate your profile. That's what you do. You don't take it the same way when Tiger Woods came into golf. Chris probably will remember this, and some of you in the chat. Tiger, there was initial reluctance, but when he dominated the Masters in 1997 and dominated by 12 strokes, people could not. The purses went through the roof. The attention went through the roof. Tiger Woods was good for business. That's the bottom line. It was good for a bit. Thank you, Chris. That's why I started watching as well. When Tiger stopped playing well, put it like this: there was nothing like seeing Tiger in that red shirt on a Sunday. Nothing like it. And he had the aura of kind of like Michael Jordan walking out, and you wondered what he would do. And so you knew that if he was within a few strokes, you knew you was toast, especially in his prime, right? Or at least that was the impression that we all got, right? But Tiger was good for the bottom line, and other golfers, they understood that, they embraced it, and they did whatever they could to ride that gravy train. This is why the purses are what they are. But this is men understanding business, are much more emotional, so they don't understand what Caitlin brings from that standpoint. They're just upset that she's getting the shine that they believe that they should have gotten, Chris. Therein lies the issue. So with that as the backdrop, and I'm gonna tell you something else with just a little quick segue. I did not know who Asia Wilson was until Caitlin Clark came into the NBA. She may have been great. I'm gonna tell y'all, she was not a household name, and I follow sports. I did not know who she was until Caitlin Clark. Now, I remember Candace. I remember the girls that I knew, but I didn't know any. If you asked me to name 3 current WNBA players before Caitlin got into the league, I couldn't do it, right? This is how popular she was, okay? This is how popular she is and what she brings to the game, and this is why you use her to benefit yourself. This is why you don't hate on Caitlin. You embrace Caitlin as a league, and as players to elevate your profile. That way y'all can begin to quote get the money that you believe that y'all deserve, right? That being all right. Now that is the backdrop. Here's my major issue why black men cape. Here's what I'm talking about Jason Whitlock. I'm talking about a lot of these black men that get on here and think they have to defend Caitlin Clark every step of the way. Whenever something happens, they're in the position that they want to defend Caitlin Clark. Here's why they do that. Because they understand it's good business. They get the likes, they get the subscriptions, they get the support because they say what mainstream white America wants to hear. Caitlin Clark is being targeted because she's a white girl and she's better than everyone. The issue is Caitlin Clark don't need you to cape for her, dog. Caitlin Clark is a professional athlete. Caitlin Clark is with the big dogs, right? Caitlin Clark does not need you black men to cape. I'm talking about like Jason Whitlock. Chris, if you notice, a lot of his content is revolved around Caitlin Clark and whether or not she has been, Caitlin Clark took an elbow. Caitlin Clark did this. Caitlin Clark. And then you have other black men, they hate on her because she's a white girl. And this, that, and the third. And hey, cornball ass. Watch it. This way. Hey, corn guy. Stop trying to cape for people who would never defend you. I never heard you all defending black women ever. I never heard you defend black women with the same vigor and the same consistency, right? But you get on your platform, Jason. And here's the thing: I subscribe to Jason Whitlock. There's a lot of guys that I subscribe to that I don't necessarily agree with everything they say. I'm subscribed. I have so many subscriptions, y'all. It would boggle y'all mind, right? I have so many subscriptions to so many people, it would boggle your mind that I don't necessarily agree with everything that they do, and nor should anyone agree with everything that I do. But I recognize that I do listen and consume some of their content, right? And so I do subscribe to their channels because I want them to get the credit for hearing what I say or for hearing what's being said. Yeah, I remember that's why I started watching. Go see. Shout out to Chris. He ain't messed up till them white women came. This is facts. And with this, and I think what happened with him, he lost his way along the way, Chris. One of the things that really hurt me from being a black man standpoint, he said, "I'm not black." When Tiger said that he wasn't black, that really bothered, I think, black America, because what he was saying is he wasn't one of us. He didn't belong to us. And that's how we embraced him. We thought that he was one of us. Even though his mother was Korean, we thought that he was one of us and one of our people. And then when he ran away from us, you know what I mean? That hurt me at that particular point in time. Now, you know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference. But however, at that particular point in time, that bothered me, thinking that, damn, you don't want to, you're a black man in America, man. Like, what do you mean you don't want to be one of us? And I remember Rob Parker saying that was the day he got on. I remember Rob Parker spoke on this, a prominent news person, and he's the one who called RG3 a cornball brother, if y'all not really familiar. And you know what I'm saying? And you know, he said that was the day he threw away all his Tiger gear, right? He said that was the day I threw away all my Tiger gear. You know what I'm saying? He said that, right? Yeah, and he said that, right? They don't give blacks the recognition, right? I don't know who these women, the women previously, I did know. They're never going to give you a lot of times the recognition unless you follow the script, unless you do things the way they want you to do them. They're not going to give you that recognition, Chris. We're men. We understand these things. However, what you do is you find a way through the back door. This is why I believe they should have had her on that dream team or whatever what was it? Not the dream team, but the American team, the USA team last year, because it was good for business. Caitlin Clark is good for business. If it's good for business, then it's good for the league and it's good for your bottom line. That is what you should be looking at when you're dealing when you are looking at a thing logically. Women, you know what I mean? A lot of times it's hard for them to divorce their emotions from a thing, right? But for these black men who continuously dog their own people, what you do is you get on here, you get on the internet, Jason Whitlock, and a lot of you other black. I seen it not too long ago, Chris. where they was on here. Yes, Pumpkin. What would you like? You want a biscuit? Okay, let me get her. Matter of fact, she might want some lunch. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna eat lunch. Y'all eat lunch with me and the kids. Come on. Come on, Pumpkin. Yeah, I can do both. I can walk and chew bubblegum. I'm tripping. She probably hungry. So one of the things, y'all, that really was important for me to really understand was how the world works. And this is big business. America is big business. Everything is money, y'all. Everything is money. That's the bottom line. Yes, baby. I'm getting you some lunch right now. And so as I'm moving about, y'all, and I'm seeing this thing objectively, I'm able to pay more attention. Yes, Uncle. Here's the graham cracker while we're waiting. Okay, we have to work on our manners, y'all. The gizmo don't. The gizmo like what she like when she like it. One of the things that I really didn't like was how we use a way, like we'll use our circumstance or our position, right, to defend every other race when they don't need it. Caitlin Clark does not need your defense. Jason Whitlock and any other cornballs, she don't need your defense. The last thing she needs is you coming to her defense every day. Caitlin is a big girl. Caitlin knows what comes with the territory. Caitlin is balling. Caitlin don't need you. Why do you always feel the need to cape for people who would never do it for you? This is what I'm dealing with, y'all. This is what I'm dealing with. We know the woman is talented. We know that she's gifted. We know Caitlin Clark can play ball. If you don't think Caitlin Clark can play ball, then get off my channel. Then you're not realistic. You're not honest. You're not a thinker. You cannot say this girl cannot play ball. She's extremely talented, right? She's extremely talented. The numbers support it. Everybody knows that the attendance is up. Business is booming when Caitlin is involved. Everybody gets that. What I'm dealing with is, why do you black men always have to go out of your way in order to defend people who would never do it for you? Why do you always? Because in the end, once again, you want to hedge your bets. A lot of you lames is cowards. This is what it always comes back to anyway. A lot of you lames is cowards, and you'll do anything. Here, Pumpkin, we got some roast, y'all. Got some roast, some rice, and a little bit of carrots. Got some biscuits. Hold on. You want some honey? Want some honey on your biscuit? Want some honey, Pumpkin? All right. Daddy put a little bit of honey. I know. So yeah, y'all, that's what I'm dealing with. Like, and you're right, Chris, right? He found out the hard. Yes, he did find out the hard way, Chris. He found out Tiger found out the hard way that he was black, because a lot of times, they're gonna get their Negro wake up call. You're gonna get your Negro wake up call. Shout out to Kent Clarkson. Just subscribe. Props to you. The first I have seen doing a live, but taking care of your kid as a single dad. Good job. Man, gone now, but I do. Shout out to you, Brother Kent. I appreciate you, man. Glad to have you. Always glad to have the support of black men, because that's what I do this. You know, a lot of times, man, they always say, well, that's why I started this, Kent, because they always say that what black men do or don't do. And I said, you know what? Why do I get upset when other people are not telling my story? I said, that's my job. You know what I mean? I can tell my story. I don't have to sit back and allow women or white America to tell my story. I can tell my own story. So that was how this entire channel came about. And it's been her and I since she was born. And that's just kind of the way it is. We didn't say our prayers, Pumpkin. I'm sorry. All praise the Creator. May we be gracious, humble, thankful for all things. So be it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Eat your food. And so that's what I'm dealing with, black men. I'm dealing with why do we always have the need to support people or try to jump? Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that Caitlin Clark is running to Jason Whitlock's defense or any of these other black men that continuously try to defend her, do you think that she would do the same thing? Like, we know the answer to these things, brothers. And we continuously play ourselves by thinking that we're special. Or, no, I'm just telling the truth and people are just hating on her and this, that, and the third. And yes, we know that they have it out for the woman. Yes, we know that there's some jealousy involved. It would be easy to get it, but we're dealing with women. What would you think is going to be the case? When you're dealing with women, you're going to have jealousy. Shout out to Kent. I'm a white guy, but much respect. I appreciate you, Kent. Listen, man, like I said, my content is specifically for the masculinity, self-esteem, and the uplifting of black men. However, if you can get something from it and you like it, that means there's something right with you. One of my good friend of mine, excuse me, Chris Byers, is a Viking of a man, and he about maybe 6'7", 250, and I never was seen with shirts on. Chris, I was like, bro, why you don't ever wear shirts and pants? Him and his son Chris Jr., my guys. And they both big guys, man. They both about 6'7". And their wife, Misty, they were very kind to me, man. Very good people. I remember when I was down, I didn't have no money, and I had stopped hustling. They were my neighbors across the street, and they helped me. So I'll never forget that, and I'll always appreciate that, and I'll always shout out. But I'm going to stand on truth. I don't duck no smoke. And so I appreciate you, Kent, for being a solid guy, man, and recognizing and being on in this chat. Shout out to you, Kent. And so, one of the things I like about the truth, y'all, chat, is that the truth don't need no support. The truth is what it is. The truth has no friends. The truth stands alone. The truth is independent, right? The truth doesn't need you or me. It's the truth, right? And so when you're dealing with things, I always like to try to deal with them from that standpoint. I always try to take the emotion out of it. I always try to take what is my physical response out of it, and look at it for exactly the thing that is, and look at it for exactly what it is. Very important to do that as men. Very important to see things clearly and objectively, right? Caitlyn is good for business, but what she does not need is black men caping for her. What she does not need is black men trying to run to her defense, trying to appease to white America, to say the things that they want them to say and regurgitate the talking points that they wish them to say in order to continuously push the fact that Caitlyn is a victim. Caitlyn is a great player, right? She's an adult. This comes with the territory. Let me tell y'all something. If she continues to play really well, and she continues to capture it, well, if she begins to capture accolades like MVPs and championships and all-star games and things of that nature, then you cannot deny it. Then you won't be able to deny it, because then what happened is she'll get the effect of the Jordan rule. You know what I mean? Everybody remember when you couldn't touch Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you blew on Mike, at least that's what a lot of people thought. If you blew on Mike, there would be a whistle, right? That will happen for Caitlyn. But Caitlyn has to just continue to ball, keep her mouth shut, play ball. Don't allow the media to pull you into this nonsense and make it a black-white thing, or, you know what I mean, or try to use you as a scapegoat. You're a ball player. You are not. Caitlyn should, in my opinion, respectfully, she should not allow herself to be used as a prop by nobody. She shouldn't allow herself to be used in that regard. I'm a ball player. My job is to play ball. What I'm not going to do is allow y'all to use me to create a narrative, you know what I'm saying, that I'm not comfortable with, in order to demonize me for the sake of, you know what I mean, for the sake of content. I don't want no conversations with that. I'm here to play ball. You know what I mean? And my job is to ball out. And if Caitlyn balls out, then all things will be, and listen, here's the thing about Caitlyn. Caitlyn got swag. We've all seen Caitlyn the trash talker. We all remember her doing this. We all know what that means. You know what I'm saying? We all know what that means, right? We remember Caitlyn beating on her chest and stuff. Caitlyn gives as good as she gets. All right, so we got to stop being so We gotta stop being so weak. Shout out to Kent Carlson. I will mention you to other content creators. Follow, they well known. Doing my part to grow you, my man. Grow yours, my man. I appreciate you, Kent. Shout out to you, man. Hey, Kent with it. Doom. Sensei, gizmo. Doom. My daughter looking at me like I'm a weirdo. Yes, yes. So shout out to you, Kent, and I appreciate that. Thank you, man. And like I said, Kent, I know things take time and this, that, and the third. As long as I'm being real and being honest, I don't really care how long the thing takes or doesn't take. As long as I'm being the man that I'm supposed to be, and I know that I'm doing things that are in line with my values, I'll let the chips fall where they may. But like I said, Caitlyn, once again, Caitlyn can defend herself. Caitlyn, trust and believe you me, y'all. Caitlyn can defend herself. She gives as good as she gets. Caitlyn is a ball player. She got swag. She is very talented. What she don't need is people, black men trying to run to her defense. You know what I'm saying? To lift her up. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like guys. I don't like men who pander and who jump on narratives because it's beneficial. I don't never do that. Shout out to King, JTL, Pope, Ben Daniels, etc. They know me well. JTL Pope. Okay, I'm gonna have to. JTL. I don't know them guys. Kent. JTL Pope and Ben Daniels, etc. Okay, nope, I don't know them, Kent. Are you? I'm gonna subscribe to your channel too, man. I'm gonna you know what I mean. Check it out. And you know, here's the thing, man. I'm always one thing about me, Kent. I'm a very, very solid guy in this regard. I've always said this. I have respect for a man that will tell me to my face he hates my guts. I can have a conversation and a meal with that man and sit down, and there can be an exchange of because here's the thing. I can at least respect you for being that, for standing for what you believe and not picking and choosing when it's, as long as you're respectful in the conversation, we can have a conversation, right? What I hate is people who throw rocks and hide their hand. You act like you care about the position that black people are in this country. However, you secretly do everything you can to undermine the position or use black people as you need them. Your Vlad TVs and Adam 22s and Edward of Culture, Vulture, Cowards. I don't roll with none of that. You know what I mean? You like black people as long as you need them. You know, and you use black people to build your platform, and then you take your wealth outside and you dump on us low key. You know what I mean? I know all those mind games. But shout out to you, Kent. Keeping it real. I like yours. I will make it known. I believe that, Kent, because I don't think you would say that if you didn't mean it, right? You seem to be a guy who would say what he meant if that's what he meant. And so, you know, at least that's how I'm going to take it. And you know what I mean? I appreciate you, man. Gizmo, what are you doing here? So, and that's what I'm dealing with, y'all. I'm dealing with why is Caitlyn. Listen, here's the thing about Caitlyn. We all know that she's talented, Kent. I mean, how can you deny her ability? You know, you would be a fool to have to. But here's the thing. She is the best thing to happen to the WNBA ever. Let me say that again. She is the best thing to happen to the WNBA ever. She is good for business. Business is good. Let me explain this to y'all like this, right? Because y'all, most of y'all are law-abiding citizens, I would assume, and y'all don't really. It would be like, for me, in my old line of work, it would be like having a plug. Everybody wants a plug. What's a plug? That means that's a place, somebody you can get stuff from for a good price. Better quality. So what do you mean? So what are you able to do? You're able to beat your competitors because you're able to give out a better what? Quality. Which means what? You can make more money. It's good for business. Now, here's the thing. The best case scenario is to have your own. If you don't, it's good to know somebody. So I don't necessarily have a plug, but I know someone. Caitlyn is the plug, y'all. Let me say that again. Caitlyn is the plug. Shout out to Kent. I live in Texas. Been a Clarkie from the Hawks days. No one is like her. She that one of them. This is facts. This is facts. And she's come along at a time where the WNBA, right, has some women with a lot of ability. So what do, Kent? You use this opportunity. If you're the women, you use this opportunity. You don't run from it. You don't say, you know what, because we believe that other women we're here first and we believe other women are better, these are the women that we're going to use. No, 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 no. The consumer is going to tell you. The world has spoken. I don't watch. Listen, if I know Caitlin Clark is playing, I want to see. I want to see what she'll do. I want to see what will happen. There's the anticipation of it. I want to see what's going to happen. This is what she brings. If Caitlin is not playing, I'm not interested. So if you understand that you can get business, that the casual fan, that numbers, everything that has happened from last year to they were on the A block. Kent, chat. They talked about WNBA basketball in the A block of First Take. Anybody in the chat, give me another time that it happened, and I'll shut my channel out right now. Give me another time that they talked about the WNBA in the A block of the chat multiple days in a row. This is before Shannon Sharp even got fired. Tell me when they talked about the WNBA in the A block of First Take, the #1 morning show in the country. Y'all just tell me that. Because a lot of times people think that I'm just talking. A lot of times people just think that, you know what I mean? Okay, he just a big mouth. Okay, you tell me how I'm wrong. I'm more than willing to hear you. Just tell me how. Tell me how. Tell me what I'm saying. Tell me if what I'm saying is incorrect. Shout out to Kat. Fun fact, she has 300 million in Indonesia. That Clark is. I did not know that. But I believe it. Ken, I did not know that. I literally did not know that. So what I'm saying is, Caitlin is good for business. So we all agree that. We all agree that as people who are just if you're looking at it from a logical standpoint, right? If you're just trying to get the best out of your situation, why not use her to elevate your profile? Because the better you play, the more you. Listen, here's the thing: cream gonna rise to the top. We all understand this. So a floating, and I got this from Stephen A. Not the hugest fan of his, but I like to give a man credit when he does say something. A rising tide. What did he say? Rising tide floats all boats. Caitlin is the tide. So why not ride that situation to a better end for yourself? This is what you should do instead of disliking this girl. This is the man brain, right? This is what they understood about Tiger, as I said previously, Jordan, or any other great athlete that came along and was transcendent. You use that. You use a young Mike Tyson. Let's trot him out there. You know what I mean? Let's get as much exposure as we possibly can. Y'all, I think there's still the people that Mike Tyson knocked out still can sign autographs. Because guess what? Man, you the guy that got knocked out by Mike Tyson. You can charge $50 for an autograph. You see what I'm saying? Like this is what a rising tide does. And so when you understand these things, you understand the world and how business works, what you do is you begin to become less emotional. You take the emotions out of it. What I don't like about Jason Whitlock and a lot of these other blacks who get on TV, Caitlin Clark is an adult. I've said that previously. And she's an adult. She's in the public limelight. She's a public figure, right? Even my little small BS channel over here, I've made myself a public figure, right? So I can't then duck the smoke if somebody come for me because I've made myself a public figure. I let you all into my life and I put out content, right? So I am now what? Public property in that regard, right? So yes, I'm not Caitlin Clark, but I don't think y'all know I'm not saying that. I think y'all are smart enough to understand that. What I'm saying is there are going to be people that are going to dislike you. Caitlin Clark just has to ball. All Caitlin got to do is keep her mouth shut and ball. She got to get better on defense, right? She definitely is a liability defensively, right? So she got to dig in a little bit. You know what I mean? She got to at least put more of an effort up there. But she is a phenom. But she don't need me to get on YouTube and cape for her every time she gets filed or gets hit, or turn whole segments into her, or turn the whole channel, so that way I can gain the popularity and the respect of people who don't hate, well, people who hate my guts anyway. Never. Shout out to Kent, 24/7. I watch all the podcasts. Excuse you, Pumpkin. 24/7. I watch all the podcasts at work, even, of course, have to work. But that is what Caitlin Clark suggests you watch on YouTube. The Sue Bird with our girl Caitlin Clark. Maybe I'm reading it 24/7. What do you say? You say you watch podcasts at work. Okay. Yes, Pumpkin, you done? Let me see. But that Caitlin Clark suggests that you watch on YouTube the Sue Bird. That was okay. Are you saying the Sue Bird is equivalent to her? Because I don't think that's what you're saying, Kent. But I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You know what I mean? Because this girl is even the girl that they wanted to Paige Becker. I know her name because what? She was out of UConn, right? Kate Paige is super talented, right? There's been a plethora of girls who are super talented, but they not her. And so that's what I'm trying to say. She's the girl. She's the person that I want to see. If she's here, Pumpkin, I'm giving it to you. I didn't take it. Here. No, you're not getting the fork. She's trying to get the fork. So you know what I mean? And so that's what I'm trying to, that's what I really want my people to understand. That's what I really want the chat to understand at this point. Big business in America, everything is big business. Everything is big business. It's all about the bottom line, right? With the one caveat for me, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna do anything to put myself in a financial status where I'm not gonna be able to look at myself later on and be proud of it. I'm not gonna do nothing that I was going to, or say anything for anybody to support me, like me, put money in my pocket, put my daughter in private school, whatever the case might be, if I think it's going to be a detriment to my masculinity, to my manhood. Because in the end, I can't get that back. I can't get back my soul, because I gave that up. And then once you got that, then the money don't matter no way, because I didn't get it the way I wanted to get it. It's not just important for me to succeed. I want to win the way I want to win. You know what I mean? We're holding my head up high. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people, they ain't like that. A lot of people, they will do anything just to be on, right? Me, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Me, not so much. Because success to me may look a little different. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of people would just, the Quran says a man may do a thing for immediate gain and not realize the poison that it bears for his future. I truly believe that, right? And when you have somebody like a Caitlin Clark that is involved in your sport, you do everything you can to wrap your arms around that. So there's twofold here. The women need to understand that, once again, Caitlin is big business. We understand that Asia Wilson may be the best player. I never knew who Asia Wilson was until that girl came in. I didn't know. Now, I'm not saying she's not a big thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying me as a casual fan who looks in, y'all know how we do, can't chat. We just flipping around the TV. If Asia Wilson would have walked past me at Walmart, I would say, girl, you tall, you play ball? That's probably what I would have said, right? I didn't know who this woman was. I know Caitlin. If Caitlin walks in, I know Caitlin. You embrace what you embrace, and you use it to fuel you. You don't run away from that. But men like Jason Whitlock make this thing very, very ugly, because a man like Jason Whitlock is going to only say what the white power structure wants him to say. He says that he's fearless and this, that, and the third. He pushes these Christian values and this, that, and the third. But I haven't seen how that ever benefited black people. I've never seen how Christian values have ever truly benefited black people. I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen it. So I hear what you're pushing, right? And I see how you use your subscribers, right? And you have a large platform, But you have to say what people want you to say in order to truly put yourself. You don't want that? I thought you liked that. She spit that rice. Why you want? It's a roast in there, pumpkin. You have to try that. You want the graham cracker? Okay, she liked the graham cracker. That's what we dealing with, y'all. We dealing with being an independent thinker. We dealing with seeing things for what we want them to be. Excuse me, for seeing things as they are and not for what we want them to be. Caitlyn don't need my support. Caitlyn don't need it. Well, as far as for me to cape for her. Everybody knows that Caitlyn done took some cheap shots. Caitlyn knows that she done took a few cheap shots. She was a great rookie. And that's her second year. I think she's been hurt. So at last I heard, Kent, you probably follow that a little bit closer to me. I think last I heard she was hurt for a while. I don't know how she was playing. Was she winning earlier? It's hard for me to really follow this stuff because a lot is going on. But last time I checked, Caitlyn was hurt, I think. And I think she was hurt. But however, she's very talented. No one can deny the woman's ability. But she does not need, what she does not need is black men always trying to come to her aid and trying to use her as a, you know what I mean, as a way to elevate their platforms by trying to say what white America wants to hear in order to push themselves forward. It's a weak move. Me personally, I think it's weak. I don't have to cape for her. I don't have to do that. I'm my own man, right? I cape for my daughters. I'm the Superman over here for my daughter Brooklyn and the Gizmo. I'm Superman over here. I cape for them. I don't cape for women who can defend themselves. She's her own person. She don't need me to run to her defense when she take a hard foul. She don't need me to do that. She don't need me to say, they fouled Caitlyn. They just hate Caitlyn. And they don't want to see Caitlyn, do well. And you know what I mean? And hey, bro, listen. She's a rookie. There's jealousy there. They're women. That happens. That's part of That's part of it. Women are going to be emotional with things, and they're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to take things. They're not going to be cerebral because they're our emotional counterparts. Let me say this again. Men are supposed to be cerebral, which means of thought. Women are supposed to be our emotional counterparts. Therein lies the balance. That's what it's supposed to be anyway. That's the way things, you know what I'm saying, should, if it were perfect. We already know that, right? Hear what I'm saying, Chad. If she if we don't give Caitlyn the opportunity to defend her own self and fight her own battles, then what are we really saying about her? Are we saying that she's too weak to do that? Are we saying that she's not strong enough? Caitlyn has teammates. They're women. They're going to have to stand up for her. This is how all of the great players, this has happened for all great players. Isaiah got fouled, cheap fouls. We definitely know what happened to Mike. I'm sure it happened to Bird when he first came in, or you know what I'm saying? I don't really remember. I would have to go back and look, but I'm sure it happened to him. Man, like, great players are going to be tested. People want to see if you really like that. People want to know, you know what I mean? Is the hype real? In Caitlyn's case, we know it is. But her talent justifies her position. No one can deny that. What you have to do is look past that and get to a point of, does she need me to defend her? She don't need me to defend her, y'all. Caitlyn don't need me to defend her position. You done, baby? Caitlyn don't need me to defend her position in order to get respect, or in order to get some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? To get sympathy. She don't need me. And she definitely don't need these other cornballs. Shout out to Kent. Just watch her interview. What I mean, you see Caitlyn raw and the real deal. And CC is very reverse. Yeah. Oh. You talking about? She color? Yeah. I think we agree. Well, I know we agree. At least from what I see, Ken. I think. Listen, I think she is a phenom. I think she's a once in a lifetime generational type player. And no, Pumpkin, you cannot have that. No, because that's dangerous. Are you done eating? Okay, she's done. So, you know what I mean? Like, what she does not need is for me to come on and try to defend her position. You know what I mean? And listen, she's a big girl. You know what I mean? She's a very, very big girl. You're a big girl too, Pumpkin. You're a big girl. She ate good. I clean her off in here, y'all, because then I clean the floor up and stuff. I try to wipe her off. And here, y'all say, uh-oh. Say, uh-oh. I'll be right back, y'all. I'm about to put her in the pen while I clean up. And then I got to clean up. Say, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm on the way back, y'all. There you go, Mike. Yeah, y'all. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for waiting for me. I appreciate you. And so there lies that, y'all. That's kind of where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at, actually. You know what I mean? Like this notion that we have to say things that everybody wants to hear. And I'm gonna tell you something else, Kent, chat. A friend of all is a friend of none. Anytime you got somebody that'll say anything just to get your attention, just to get views, and they don't really mean it, man, listen, man. Man, ain't no money in the world. Man, listen. Man, please. Man, please. I wish I would have my integrity questioned because I'm trying to get a bag on YouTube. Man, please. Man, please. What? Yeah, man. Listen, I'm a lot of things, man. Some good, some not so good. But one thing I ain't is a coward. You better believe that. You better know that. You know, you definitely. That's one thing about my subscribers. You better know that. If you subscribe to my channel, you can book it. That you'll cut out of all the content creators you may know or support or whatever the case might be. You can go to sleep comfortable knowing that you're supporting a guy who he is. For good, for better or for worse. Ain't nothing phony about me. So that's why I'm not going to tell y'all nothing that I truly don't believe. And I believe Caitlyn is good for business. Caitlyn is, and two things, as the saying goes, y'all, two things can be true. Two things can be true. There's two things that can be true at the same time. It can be true that Caitlyn is good for business and the WNBA players should do more to wrap their arms around her and use her to elevate their own position and get the money and get the views and get the viewership, the sponsorship, and get their jerseys and this, that, and the third, and all of that could be true. I mean, it all could also be true that she don't need people caping for her. She don't need a lot of these cowards caping for her. Trying to defend her and turning whole segments into her how Caitlyn is a victim. Caitlyn of all people. Caitlyn public property, y'all. And people gonna come at her. People are gonna come at Caitlyn because they're jealous. That's a womanly trait. A lot of you cornball men got it too. For real. That's why I can give another guy credit and don't trip on whether or not he give it back to me. Anything I ever get from another guy, I can always give it up. That's why I started this YouTube thing anyway. To give up the game. It wasn't about trying to keep it to myself. It was never about me personally. It was about me knowing that I've learned some things over the years, and now's the time for me to get this stuff away. I'm telling y'all, you have to give this girl credit. We have to give Caitlyn credit for being who she is. We have to acknowledge her talent. But you Jason Whitlocks and you other guys who lie on YouTube, who make stuff up in order to create a narrative, and you know what I mean, you want to continue to say things. That's why I don't like guys like who's that officer, or what's his name? What's that black officer? Oh my God. Another cornball ass black man that'll say anything white folk want to hear in order to appease and get the officer something. It just whatever. Shout out to Kent. Oh, sweeping. Even mad respect. Damn, dude. I'm definitely gonna do my part with ones. I know you a real deal. I said I appreciate you, Kent. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. If you see my videos, man, listen, you just getting here, man. Like I said, you got to see some of my stuff, man. Like I said, I started it about I was in a homeless shelter, man. That's how I started out doing this. But initially, I started a channel previously, but I had went to prison, and when I had got out, and this chick had the phone, and she never gave me the phone back. And so I was never able to truly really take it off, and then take off. And I started getting back in the streets. I was living a certain type of life. And then like my daughter was born, and her mother basically she basically disappeared. And she was on drugs, and she never could get it together. And she got on drugs after, I said, actually. And I tried to help her as much as I could, but I couldn't let her drag us down. So I had a choice. I could either keep living the way I was living, or I could take our daughter, and I could raise her as best I could. And so I don't have any family or things of that nature to lean back on and stuff like that. You know, my parents are dead. You know, her parents are drug addicts as well. There is no one. So it's up to me. Oh, my phone about to die, y'all. Oh, I didn't know if I had 1%. Man, shout out to y'all, man. Hit the like and subscribe button. Doggone it, my phone about to die. My phone about to die. I didn't even see that. I apologize, y'all. Thank you for being in here. I'm definitely gonna keep y'all posted. And y'all hang in there. Thank y'all so much. And hit the bell so that when I do another one, y'all will be in time. Yes, sir. Y'all.